We have one more verse. Verse 4. Each person who has been born from God has defeated the world. This is the victory prevailing over the world, our faith. Why are you arguing with other Christians when you could be defeating the world by your faith? Not your faith as you argue about the metaphysics of God with other Christians. That's pretty much just going to make the world laugh at us, right? So when you, as a Trinitarian or an anti-Trinitarian, refuse to promote the love of God and Jesus as the Christ, and instead argue about the metaphysics of God with others who proclaim Jesus as the Christ, as I said, you're a loser, and you're actually in our way. So we're going to move you out of the way so the world doesn't think you're in the same way as we are and laugh at us all as if we're doing the same things. We're not. We're moving past you Trinitarians and anti-Trinitarians to the extent that we are able to do so, and we're going to focus on this message. Show love for God, love for the children of God, defeat the world, and proclaim Jesus as the Christ. That's it. What else do you really need? How much more can you proclaim beyond those things? And in fact, I would argue if you're proclaiming the Trinity and arguing against or for the Trinity, you're not doing any of these things. You're certainly not doing it to other people who already proclaim Jesus as the Christ. You're taking the easy way out. And I'm not even sure you really believe. Because if you did, you'd be doing what these texts say, not running around looking for another person you can argue with about grammar. Don't you know who that sounds like? You might want to look up the references in the New Testament to the scribes and the grammarians. That's not good company. You don't want to be in that company. You want to be showing love for God and for the children of God and following his instructions. Stop thinking about these other people. Focus on Jah. Think of Jesus. And help those who are doing the same things. Or those who don't do the same things. That is, proclaim Jesus as Christ. Help them. You don't need to be helping Trinitarians. They don't need it. They have plenty that they can use for their faith. And that's what we're going to use to defeat the world. What I'm talking about right now is the mindset that we are going to use to defeat this world by showing them the priorities of Jah and Jesus and helping other people. You're not helping other people if you're arguing about Greek grammar and destabilizing their faith. You're actually promoting the world and defeating faith. So I would highly recommend you stop that. If you really have an issue, you have a question, those happen. Not all the time. Not after 10, 15, 20 years. If you haven't figured it out yet, you probably aren't. So leave us alone, okay? We've figured it out. We're moving on. There's plenty of information for anybody who wants it to read if you've forgotten or you just haven't had a chance to review it. But we're not going to go backwards just because you haven't gone forwards. We highly recommend you come forward and then we all move together and defeat the world.